opposed?
No, Steve is.
Going? All right, it's 5:01. Go ahead and call our workshop to order. Val, will you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Snow?
Here.
Commissioner Curry?
Here.
Commissioner Delanoy?
Here.
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Mayor Penny?
Here. So we're here to talk about the 7th Street Neighborhood Park playground improvements. Joe, you want to start, or Joseph? Or?
Yeah, so we're doing this work session because you've got this item actually on your agenda this evening. And what we want to do is give you the opportunity to hash out any conversation that you might have about any of the playgrounds that have been submitted. So in the agenda item is the full, all of the proposals. So there's a lot of information, and you really don't have to, if you did, you didn't have to read all that stuff or look at it. We have a short presentation that's got a summary of what the comparisons are. And really what it comes down to is everything is within the allocated budget that we have, and it comes down to whichever one of these playgrounds you happen to like the way it looks. And it's going to go over at 7th Street Park in addition to what's already over there. So I'll let you guys go ahead and pick it up
Okay,
from here.
let's go to the first slide. So it's going to go in right next to the existing playground equipment.
That's the existing, that's the new
And that's
spot.
the new spot. And when Steve did the bids for us, and he did a really good job. So it's going to be a complete playground installation, not to exceed $102,000. AED ramp. And then it's going to have material and warranty specifications. Coastal saltwater tolerant. Now, anything within a mile of the river is going to have some saltwater spraying when storms come through. We don't want this to rust out right away. So this is a big deal for our park equipment. So this is just to let you see what's at the park right now. It's a swing set and a small set, so we want to just basically double this type
And
adventure for the
that's still in
kids.
good shape, right, Steve, that equipment?
Yeah, so just keep in mind when you're picking the new one that you've already got a set of slides and a set of swings.
That's all staying there.
That's
It's all
staying.
staying. All right, so next slide. This is advanced. Advanced is, it's a nice platform, it's got good shade, got some fun. There's a rope on the bottom of this thing, evidently that's really fun for kids right now. That's kind of an in thing to have, is these little rope things for them to climb through. So anyway, this is aluminum and it's saltwater compliant tested. So it actually met the criteria of the coastal. You're all going to see the minimum warranty on this stuff is 5 years, but this has 15 years molded plastics, and a shade component is actually 10 years. But the big thing is this is salt water. We asked for that in the bid, and they actually did say they were performance for salt. Next one, Bliss. This one, they did not list the materials, and they have a one year powder coated. We don't want that one.
Yeah, no.
All right, next one. Yeah, this is the one.
No picture.
For this company actually submitted 3, and we don't know what this one is. So we just pass on that one. Now the next one, again, not a bad looking playground, but they didn't list the equipment and no specifications on the materials, so we don't know if it's saltwater tolerant or not. Next one, the double agent. Same thing, same company. They didn't list the materials, and we're really not sure on the longevity of the products. Next one, Core-Cat. Pretty simple. It's steel posts. It says it's got some galvanized swing aspect to it. You already have a swing set there. Next one, Miracle. This one has really good height.
That's the one.
It definitely has extra playground equipment, and we verified, Steve and I, the 2 externals come with it. And it does have aluminum caps, and it meets the coastal.
What's the height of that?
Minimum 8 foot.
The
no,
height,
top of the umbrella.
this thing's up there.
It's minimum 8 foot, yeah.
What about the top?
Looks very high from that angle. but,
Yeah, so the slide is how, that's the more than 8 feet, ain't it? That slide.
Well, again, it's listed as the minimum. So that's the minimum that they can set it is 8 foot per the drawings.
So
All right.
the height from the bottom up to the top of that, where like the wheel will come out of the slide? is-
We won't know until it's installed.
Well, that's-
We know
that's-
It'll be a minimum of 8 feet.
It's minimum listed as 8 foot. That's what they have in the drawings. I just looked that up.
So it's higher than 8 foot?
Yes.
It can be.
It's
yeah.
no lower than 8 feet.
It's no lower than
Oh, I'm not worried
Yeah,
about
I
it.
think
I'm
that's-
just
that's
wondering
12
how
feet,
high
yeah,
it is
it
up
was
there.
Yeah.
All right, Claymore, another one. This is really a simple one, but they didn't list their materials again, so.
And the bid package required that to list the materials?
What I asked for is, I said that we're gonna be taking a look at the design, we're gonna be taking a look at the warranty, and that we're in a coastal community, and as such, aluminum, galvanized, and otherwise rust-resistant materials are highly recommended. So that's what was in the invitation to bid itself, and they didn't list any materials.
So this one here, this was probably the poorest one of all. It didn't list warranties, materials, or anything. The next one, this is not a bad setup. I call this the hopping stone one. If you look at these are all like hopping stones. That seems to be their claim to fame. The play elements, it was hard to really determine what the play elements were on this one. I mean, you can kind of read on the side, but the visually, it's not very telling what it does. All right, so let's bring this to a conclusion. So the final slide here is, this is our saltwater tolerance specifications. All three of these met the criteria of coastal. So these would be the ones staff would recommend technically, which would hold up longest in our environment we have here. You're not limited to this. In the middle is your existing playground, so you can kind of see how they compare visually. And I'll leave council to kind of make their discussions.
Now, when they say it's galvanized, are they speaking hot dip galvanized?
That's typically what they do at the joints, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can galvanize something out of the back of my truck, but it's not gonna last a couple of years.
That's why
It's gotta be hot dip galvanized to last.
the two pictured ones actually talk about saltwater tolerance type things. The one in the bottom is more aluminum, and it doesn't talk about galvanized in its proposal, if I remember right.
10 years is ready to be changed out anyway.
It depends, but more than likely.
Most playgrounds, you see them after 10 years, they've been used.
The
pretty
one down
much
at Sunrise
hard.
was just, what, 12 years now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm just, yeah, it's in great shape.
Can you tell me what that covering is made of? Is it net?
That's a material.
No, on the Miracle one.
No, it's plastic. The Miracle's one towards the bottom.
Keep going, keep going.
Keep going.
Right there.
Right, yep. That's plastic.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
it's
blue
plastic.
and green there is plastic.
Molded
Okay,
plastic.
that's fine, but I don't like any of that sales stuff.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Yeah.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
that's actually the one that I chose for what I thought would best fit the
We should rename
neighborhood.
this then the 7th Street Slide Park.
Well,
It's a lot of
this
sauce.
thing has,
But it has a monkey bar thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it's a good name, 7th Street
There's
Slide Park.
I think
climbing
you should
bars
call
over
it the
here, there's
girls'
all kinds of
choice.
stuff around it.
Plus you have
I'm
the
sorry,
little
ladies.
merry-go-round like thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
with
with
the
a
plastic
wall.
one. yeah,
And
yeah.
the little
That-
climbing wall.
Are those other things included in it? That little
Yes.
climbing
Yeah.
wall and
That, the Wheel of Death pays homage to the one that was at.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Little metal wooden ones.
It's
that
just
you
not a
go
steel
with.
one.
I remember that
Remember
one.
flying off of that thing as a kid?
I remember that.
Yeah, we get that thing
With
going.
those
Yeah.
half railings.
We tried to go as fast as we could with that thing.
So I hear Commissioner Curry vote for Miracle, I hear Commissioner Snow vote for Miracle. That was the one that I picked before the presentation.
Yeah.
How's
Do
it
you guys
made?
have any other opinions?
How big around is the structural piping on that? Is that 3 inch? Does anybody know? Is that like?
I think, go down a little bit, see if it's on the columns there. Most of them were saying 5-inch.
Oh,
Most of them, I don't remember.
is that galvanized?
Yeah,
Got one
they're right after
galvanized?
It's aluminum,
I
right?
know one of them was aluminum.
Stainless steel.
It's aluminum posts.
Yeah,
Oh,
aluminum
really?
posts and the hardware
It's probably
stainless.
powder coated aluminum, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
It looks
nice.
like it's color, so it's gotta be powder coated, bro.
So,
I think that's the
You guys
best
have
bang
any-
for the buck.
Yeah.
what do you think?
Absolutely.
I'd stay away from galvanized, to tell you the truth, it's pretty
Yeah.
decent, but I like the powder coated aluminum.
Yeah,
So it sounds like we have consensus that
yeah.
this is only.
Wow,
Easy.
that's amazing.
That
That doesn't normally happen.
20 minutes?
No, we're gonna call it
And,
meeting.
and it will look nice with the other ones, you know, that
Yeah.
color scheme
Yeah.
looks nice with.
And I don't know if you've been by Sunrise Park lately, but the pirate ship is about to sail.
It looks good, doesn't it?
Pretty cool.
It's really
It is cool.
On the Miracle, also just to let you know, because you can't really see it here, but I did check the specs, and it does come with the border and the mulch and the ADA ramp. For requiring.
Oh,
So the ADA ramp gets you into the mulch area?
Yes, it's gonna get into the playground.
So where does the ramp start from?
It's gonna start from the sidewalk,
So it's gonna go from sidewalk to the,
into the play,
And it's just regular wood chips, right, Steve?
yeah, it's engineered wood.
so then once they
But
get
we
into the
wanted to
wood
do
chip
that,
area,
first it's a
then-
lot less expensive. It's gonna match the other one, it's multi-ground, it's mulch that's ground multiple times until it gets very soft.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a-
I've never heard of that.
yeah, playground, it's expensive mulch.
Okay,
So that's,
something like what they would do like with rubber.
Yeah, it's not
But
rubber.
it's not the
but-
same
It's
material.
not rubber, but it's a lot softer. Yeah.
so that's the 101, 325?
Yep.
And what do we have budgeted? That's
3029, the one right below it is the maximum. budget.
102,966.
It's 102,966, and our CDBG grant is for 102,966.
Okay.
So this is in budget.
It's not cool.
And there's nothing else we need to, this is basically turnkey.
Yeah, yeah, this is with the installation, permitting.
They'll do everything that's in the picture, the grounds, everything. box it
Joe.
all.
Once
Yeah,
this
they
gets
haven't asked us to do
Put
anything
in
at all.
and completed, could we do
We
some
might have
kind
to flatten the
of
ground or something.
You know, that's what I was thinking, but we're not
grand
moving
opening
anything.
for it?
yes.
So,
You can do whatever you want. The original playground, that was done through a grant that actually Tom Harowski had gotten us way back.
there's a FERDAP grant, yeah.
I know we did a grand opening there, or ribbon cutting, I think. is
Well,
what it was.
there's a plaque there already,
Or some
there's
kind of grant, yeah.
ribbon cutting. So, I mean, we can do another ribbon cutting.
Yeah, just to kind of bring awareness and maybe
Yeah.
have
I mean,
it,
You're not, are you looking for another plaque?
No.
no,
Maybe we could do a bike combination.
I don't care about
A
plaque.
what? A bike walk?
Yes.
Because we're doing one at Sunrise, right? I thought I remembered,
A plaque?
no. I don't care about a
I'm
plaque.
trying to, if you had
Like
speaker
a ribbon cutting.
we can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Pick, what day do you want to do that?
No, I'm not a commissioner of past years that had to have my name on
All right.
everything that was done.
All right, we got 45 minutes before our next meeting.
All right, so when we do the agenda meeting tonight, when that item comes up, you just make a motion and you will insert, what is the name of that one?
Miracle.
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 Miracle by who?
Miracle on 7th Street.
Seventh Street
That's
Slide
a whole
Park.
marketing plan. right
Yeah,
there.
really, man.
Slide Park.
Where do you live, JP?
I live on 7th Street.
Where's my bike walk, people?
It's not the same 7th Street. You can't get there from my house.
All right,
Miracle
so-
Recreation.
Is that,
Miracle Recreation.
okay, so that's what you want to insert into the, your motion for that item. I'll just give you a quick update while we have a few minutes. I spoke with Karen from the Volusia League of Cities about facilitating our goal-setting session. She has an elderly parent that's in hospice, and so she's kind of waiting for that time to pass. And she's done goal-setting sessions for nonprofits, but she's never done them for local government. So we sent her the last 3 goal-setting sessions that we had done. 2 of them I wasn't here for. I think it was 2002, and no, it was 2008 after I had left, and 2012. And then we did another one in 2015, and I was here, 2019 when I was here. So I sent her those just so that she can get an idea of what it looks like. And I told her, you know, I'll tag team it with her because I've done them before with the commission. I just wanted to have a third-party outside opinion to help guide you through this, not that it turns into my goals list or my steering it. It really needs to be steered by the commission, and we'll help redirect you where we need to end up going. So I haven't heard back from her yet to see if she's willing to do that in partnership with me and what that cost would be. And I'm thinking we can just do it in 1 3 or 4 hour work session and then follow that up. She would then follow it up with putting it in a list and prioritize. I'll send you out the 2019 goals list that we did. And you'll see how much on that really we've accomplished. There's very few items on there that we didn't get to, and it's things that we're not going to get to. I don't remember what they are.
I don't remember either.
But when
It doesn't matter because we're not getting there.
yeah, it doesn't matter because it's just stuff that we're not going to do. I don't remember what was on there, but I do know that it's stuff that. Let me just see if I happen to.
BMX park.
Not doing the BMX park. That wasn't even on there. That might have been on a previous one.
Ice cream store in US 1. That's a real goal.
Yeah, John really thought you'd go for that,
But
an ice cream place.
I wanted an ice cream place.
He's looking for that. Did you find the PowerPoint helpful on this, or?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I just want to know if we have time, we can do those things to kind of help.
So in,
Oh,
Decision tree.
definitely.
just thinking in the future, what do we have, 13 submissions?
10.
10?
Yeah.
So it may be helpful, before you send them to us, if you went through them, these don't meet, these don't meet. So then we don't look at 10, we just would have looked at
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
three.
and we didn't, as staff, we didn't want to limit, if somebody really had, wanted one, we didn't feel it was staff's point to throw them out. That's why we did it.
Yeah, but, I mean, if they don't meet that one standard that's crucial for our playground equipment, I don't
We
have
can be
a
swayed by
problem.
pretty pictures,
Yeah.
so some guys got
Especially brass.
potted metal in there, cast iron instead of.
We can bring up,
Yeah.
we can bring, maybe, bring it down a little bit based on a evaluation like this, but we'll provide you everything just in case you want to dig through the weeds. How's
But
that?
yeah,
It
well
all-
done.
It really all depends on how we do the ITB, which, invitation to bid.
The who?
I thought it was an RFP.
Was that all the bids?
I don't know.
Yeah, we got 10.
And that was, we saw, so you
You saw 10.
what the best were?
We had 3 that said they were kind of coastal, met that criteria, and those were the kind of ones at the end there that we thought would last the longest, and
Yeah.
that would
Yeah,
pique your
that's
interest.
good.
So what you have to decide from the onset is, do you want the commission to make the decision, or do you want staff to make the decision, or do you want staff to rank them? And then if we rank them, if we rank them 1 through 10, are you going to select number 1, or if we rank them 1 to 10, you then pick from the top 3? You have to set those rules out front. So, for example, if you say, well, you rank them 1 through 10, and you bring the commission, send the commission everything, but the commission will evaluate 1, 2, and 3. And I'm not just talking about a playground, I'm talking about any other kind of bid or proposal. You then can't deviate from it. You can't say, well, I like number 8. Well, not if you told staff to rank it and you're going to select from the top 3.
No, I like the fact that we rank them. So let's just say, and if one of these people didn't meet the bid specs, would we have seen that one?
No, we would declare them, you have to first be,
Of course not.
no, you'd have to be responsive, responsible bidder.
Yes.
And if you're not a responsive, responsible bidder, you're
Yeah,
disqualified.
if they don't meet the bid specs, I don't even want to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could have probably thrown out 2 or 3 of them,
Yeah,
just
so
on.
But that's,
I think,
But we have to always be careful because they may challenge.
I think it's ultimately our decision. It's our budget, we're allocating the funds, and we should take the heat. We shouldn't, the staff recommended that one.
Yeah.
I mean, the cream rose to the top.
No, but if I,
It all depends. Let me just give you another example. So I'll use an example of we go out for an auditor. Do you want to review 8 audit packets and you decide who the top 3 are, or do you want staff to reduce those? So it's a different criteria for the different types of things you're going out to bid for. So there are sometimes you may be doing a construction project and we're doing a seawall replacement. Well, do you want staff and the engineers to narrow that
Yes.
down to the top one? Well, in that case, you don't make any decision, you take staff's recommendation on that.
But why don't we just limit it to the top three?
Yeah.
I mean, it's clear, staff limited this to the top three, and we chose number one, we all agreed. But
And
if
that
we had
was
staff
critical.
review it and provide us three, then we still have 3 bids to choose from. And we don't know the technicalities of tiebacks
I
and
agree.
seawalls and all
No,
that stuff.
I
Because
agree.
you're all being very good and not being very political, but I came from an environment where politics played a big role in who gets selected for certain.
Well,
Might be
and
someone's
who
cousin's
knows if
brother.
that'll happen in the future, but
Right, which is why I'm saying on each one of these things, you've got to set the decision-making in play first.
I don't mind staff giving me the top 3. They don't need to rank the top 3, but giving me the top 3, they've already went through all the data. They know a lot of that data better than I do.
Right, but again, I'm not just talking about playground.
I
I'm talking about-
understand.
Okay.
I think the
This
top
just seemed pretty-
3,
It seems rare that we get 10 bids for a $200,000 job.
Yeah.
It's not a very big job.
Slowing down.
One thing I would mention, I would have to reread the purchasing policy, but we'd have to make sure that we're within the guidelines of that. Because right now, we're not going according to typical purchasing policy.
Okay.
We can't do apples to apples, that's why you're choosing one.
Okay.
okay.
Well, the information you had about the salt water, that was critical. So would that be in the bid typically?
That's something that we put into the invitation to bid and the instructions.
Okay.
And that when they made their submittal, that's what I was looking for, to see,
Right.
well, what are your materials, is it gonna last?
And
Yeah.
that's what I was referring to. If
Yeah.
it doesn't qualify,
Right.
basically because they don't have that
It's your fault.
material
And our-
listed.
Our problem was in looking at them, some of them didn't claim they were saltwater, but maybe they were, and, you know, they come back and say, oh, well, our stuff is, you know.
Well, to me,
But they didn't say it in their
Yeah.
proposal, so we, you know, we kind of ranked them lower. But it's a little safer, I think, for us to kind of give you the whole package, but
And
maybe
I
give you the
remember-
PowerPoint.
I don't have a problem with
Remember, a
that.
lot of our other bids.
The other stuff,
Those
and
demos
everything,
there.
but then you.
Lowest qualified, responsible bidder.
It didn't take very long to review 10 bids and come to it took us 15 minutes. And I would imagine that's going to be similar to any bids that we would have. So are we safer reviewing them all and having staff do that?
You gotta do them on a
Especially-
case-by-case basis.
In a
Yeah.
project like this also, it's critical that we follow everything in the purchasing policy very closely because this is a federally funded project. So.
Not
we
not
have to-
everyone will be the same. Now, what we can do is we can talk to you and say, all right, this project is coming up, this is how we're gonna go about doing it, how do you wanna do the selection process?
Okay.
Make sure it complies with the person's policy, and then we can go on from
But we
there.
don't know how many bids we're gonna get until we put it out on the street. I mean, we got 10 this time, we may get 2 next time.
Right.
Right.
And the 2, you know, they might even say they're saltwater tolerant, you know?
I just believe that the expertise is out there
Yeah.
where each of us has our own area of expertise probably. But as far as generally going, we look to y'all to make decisions. Yeah.
Well, I like the idea of having at least 3, at least. I mean,
Oh,
you
and
did-
your
you
purchasing
did
manual
that
recommends
before.
3, but, you know, if you wanna get 2 bids, you
Well, I
may
think
not, you may
three-
go out for
three's
bid
good.
3 or 4 times and still
Four.
only get 2 bids.
Yeah.
Right.
You
I mean,
know,
you might get them to where they're awful close and the product looks almost the same and you have 4 or 5 of them. You're still gonna be like, you know, am I gonna go over here and waste 45 minutes if I have 4 of them? Whatever it is, not just playground equipment.
Right.
We're 5 auditors that are pretty close, that have the same reputations. I mean, what are you gonna do at that point? So, yeah, I agree. You know, somebody with the knowledge needs to limit it down to something, so we're not sitting here trying
These
to
are our goals.
do it.
Yeah, so this is what I sent to Karen. These were the 2019 goals that I had put
What was
together.
the clubhouse? What was that?
Clubhouse.
I think what we did was we made some repairs to the clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, although now it's not in that great a shape again.
Well, that's Hollyland Park.
So it was about the
Oh,
clubhouse
that's
over there.
okay.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay. See, that's why we need you.
At any rate, these are, the items that are highlighted are pretty much done. Yeah, the clubhouse was what was done over at Hollyland Park, the restaurant, the gardens, the pickleball, all that.
Okay,
So the pier replacement, again, we are waiting on FEMA for all of these pier replacements. West Point Park restrooms are installed. The dog park, we did general maintenance, we repaired the pavilion. We continue with code enforcement, compliance with outside display ordinance, that's gone.
oh, I remember that was a whole ordeal.
Yeah. We're continuously trying to recruit businesses, develop a plan to address unreserved properties. That's not complete, and really the turnover that we've had in community development, nobody's really been here long enough to put the time into that one. We focused on the Christmas parade, the art festival. We did for a number of years, but then the ladies backed out, so I don't think that's coming back. The child abuse awareness we did for a number of years, then that fell apart, but now it's coming back again this year. In fact, that'll be on April 30th. We continue with the car shows. We did Halloween in the park, but now that's been canceled. We maintain although we don't have a middle school, we still maintain the 5-0 club with UBIC, and we do have people that serve on requested committees for the schools. Annual customer service training, that's ongoing. Again, with the turnover rate that we have in some of these customer forward-facing positions, we need to continuously do customer service training. Amending the comp plan, we are hiring a deputy planner. I mentioned to you that, as part of succession planning and my eventual retirement someday and the possibility of Brian moving up and needing somebody to replace Brian. So probably by April 1st, we've made an offer to someone who's accepted the job from out of state, I think Pennsylvania. So they'll come in, and really the responsibility that I want that person to do is the annual, the appraisal report for the comp plan, and then after that, start working on a full comp plan amendment and updating the zoning. So they're gonna have some work to do as they, start to learn that job. This is the continuation of the CRA. We've already met with Volusia County. We're developing the expansion plan. Hopefully that's going to go to the county in the next month or two. The infrastructure, we're doing water and wastewater projects. We're working on updating the stormwater plan. We already evaluated road conditions. We have a paving program that's out there. We have a sidewalk program that's out there. Design landscaping for Hayman Park and Riverside Drive. If you remember that, we did the landscaping across the street from Marina Grande and around the park. Is development, doing something with the shops along Riverside Drive at LPGA. We really haven't done anything. That's under private control, and although we've met with George, the owner of that property, he really doesn't seem to do much of anything with that. We're still moving forward with widening of LPGA. That's still in process. The comp plan, again, the year is underway. That's the evaluation and annual review, I think it's called. The Greenways Trail and widening the sidewalk on Riverside Drive, we don't have the right of way. Everybody says, well, you can make it go across the road and they can come back, and it's, I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's very difficult, and Ormond has no intention of doing anything on their end, so I don't see that happen. Turn Riverside Drive into a one-direction road, that's not going to happen. Does anybody agree with me?
No. Sorry.
I agree with you. It's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. Work with the base operator for the light seaplane base. Well, as you know, the seaplane, that base gets inspected every year. It was just inspected 2 weeks ago. It passed. There's just no reason for people to fly their planes here or places for them to go. Although I've hooked the base operator up with the two ladies that do the Sunday farmers market, and they might do an event on a Sunday where maybe planes will fly in, and then they'll do like a barbecue day, and the farmers market will be there. And then redesign the city's web portal. We did that a couple of years ago. So there was actually a lot of things accomplished on that list. So between this and the previous list, we'll regroup and then we'll have this work session and try to establish
Okay.
new plans for the next 5 years.
All right. And before this work session happens, are we supposed to submit our thoughts or our
No.
notes? No.
No.
It's all in there.
Yeah, typically what we'll do is we'll hang like flip chart paper up and you just kind of throw out all the ideas and there's no right answer or wrong answer, no good idea, bad idea, there's some bad ideas.
I didn't hear that.
No, and we'll put it on there, and then everybody kind of goes around with these colored dots, and they start to pick their priorities. What do you see as a priority? And then from that, we then narrow it down, and so that's kind of the process. So it takes a couple of hours, and we'll have some snacks and food and whatever. But I'm figuring 3 or 4 hours. We may start at like 1 o'clock on one day during the week and try to get it done, and then Karen will take it back and formalize it into a document.
Okay.
All right, so we got half an hour. I got one thing to talk about that I totally didn't tell anyone about. I told Forte about it 6 months ago, probably forgot.
Did forget.
April 17th. My crazy mile marker is 4/17. April 17th is 4/17.
Yes.
I had this crazy idea for it to be Employee Appreciation Day. I think we have like $500 in the budget to do it. We put something in the budget, right?
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
But my thoughts on that was that the elected officials and possible department heads, if they wanted to participate, but mostly elected officials, are gonna show up over at Seco Hall and cook hamburgers and hot dogs for the employees.
And sort of like we did that one year. Well, we were supposed to do,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
some commissioners didn't want to participate
Yeah.
and help.
So we did it one time years ago over at Holiday Park.
I'd love to do that.
But I just think we have an amazing staff that works much harder than any of us elected officials.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's the least we can do, and even if we don't have it in the budget, I'll pay for it,
We
so.
we can
Double down.
Yeah. I mean, if we don't have it in the budget, I'll pay for it, but I think there's like $500 in the budget for it.
Well,
I
if it's
think
not
that's
in the
a great
budget, I'll give money.
But I don't know what that looks like, so I'm gonna need help from either y'all or Joe's gonna help to help me figure out what's that look like. Do we go to Publix and buy 5 gallons of potato salad? Do I go to Sam's to get water? So,
We'll have to put it together internally and then figure it out. But April 17th
Don't
is
go to
Thursday.
Publix
It's
for
Thursday.
everything. Don't go to Publix and buy anything. We'll go to better places than that for quantity.
Wade Severson's a great smoker. He works in water.
yeah.
Actually, it's down. He needs to get it fixed.
Yeah, but we don't want them to do anything. We don't want them to have to do
Last
anything.
time I had
And
Wade
there's-
smoked food was at Walt's house.
Yeah.
It was
There's
good.
a whole
I
kitchen
know he
at
would
Seco Hall
he
for
would
this
No.
one.
do it if you
Oh,
asked him.
no, okay.
But it's his grill.
I had to bring our grills. I have a Flatstone grill. So,
He'll have it fixed up.
but just something that it will be here before we
I think that's
notice,
great.
before we notice it.
Yes.
And I don't know, it's
That's a
kind of
great
corny,
idea.
but I think it's kind of corny.
Perfect day to do it. Yes.
I don't think it's corny.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
420
let me
is
know
the
what I need to
Sunday.
do.
No, not,
Hey, hey,
no,
hey,
Donna,
not
it
420.
can't be,
Come on now.
Deborah, it can't be 420, we told you. It can't be 420.
I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from.
That's Ormond, that's the Ormond Brewery.
Okay, on the calendar.
417.
So anybody else have any crazy ideas we need to throw out, or?
I was on a cruise and I didn't really have time or couldn't come in and talk about it, but the thing we're voting on with the ordinance package to consolidate it down. I sat with Brian here before I came into the workshop, so I know what I was, I don't like voting on something I don't know what's in there. And we sat, he explained to me for a good 20, 30 minutes to get a good idea. I mean, I had somewhat of an idea, I read of it. But anyway, I just have a problem with one of the,
You'll need
Things in there.
to talk about it in there, because
Yeah.
that's an item that's coming up on the agenda, and we don't have to publish it.
well, I'm gonna suggest that we bring it to a workshop before, I'm just saying, just think we need, I think we need to look at it more than when, before.
Maybe we got time, maybe you should go talk to Joe privately. We can't really talk about that issue here because we haven't advertised that issue at this
Well, okay.
workshop.
Yeah, I would go down and talk, get another follow-up on Brian. It's not as complicated as it may
Oh,
seem.
no, I understand every bit of it, but I just
Maybe you ought
wasn't
to
agreeing with some
have a
of
meeting
one
with
thing
all
in
of
it.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, I would go, we can adjourn this and go down and meet with Brian and just run down any questions you might have.
Okay.
All right, anybody else have anything for the good of the order? All right,
No.
we'll be adjourned and we'll see you in 25 minutes. In the other room.
Got it.
Probably 4.